Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today I'll be talking about something a little different than what I usually talk about. I usually show off some video games or some Halo stuff or some game development stuff, but today I'm going to be talking about something that I worked on today for Christmas. Well, I didn't work on it today. I finished it for Christmas. It is a gift to my girlfriend, and that is a T-Rex that I fully 3D modeled and had printed out. I have access to a 3D printer. And one of the goals I wanted for this printout was for it to be weighted in such a way that it'll stand up on two legs and it won't fall over. And as you can see by the geometry, you might think that it's front heavy, and you might think that it would just instantly fall over in that direction, but that isn't the case. And I'll show you exactly how I achieved the balancing for this object when I jump over in the Blender. So if that's something that might be interesting to you, then just wait a second and I'll show you how I did it. Hello, now that we're in Blender, I can show off exactly what I was trying to explain when I was recording with the camera. Excuse my kind of boogery voice. I did get sick over Christmas, and it's really, really annoying. So if there's a sudden shift in the sound quality or kind of the way my voice sounds, it's because I stopped to blow my nose or to swallow the fucking boogers in my throat, so sorry. This is a rare thing that I don't usually do. I triangulated the mesh just to kind of give it that more of a low poly look when it got printed out. But if I were to select somewhere on this mesh, anywhere, and just press L, and what that does, it selects everything that is attached on that mesh. If a vertice or an edge is connected to another part of the mesh, it'll select everything that's connected. And I just press hide. There's a second part of the mesh that isn't exactly connected to it. It's kind of free floating in the middle. And what's happening with this mesh, if I just select a few faces and hide them, so you can see on the inside, these blue lines indicate the direction of the normal. And these normals are facing inward. So this mesh is kind of inverted, so that all the normals are facing inward. So these are actually going to be the outer facing sides of the printout. So if I unhide everything, you can see that the normals are facing outward on here, but they were facing inward on the other side. So this is going to be the outside of the mesh, and everything within the mesh that I just showed you within this one is going to be the hollow sections. So if I were to take, what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to select this whole part of the mesh, and I'm just going to separate it. I'm going to separate it by selection, so it's its own object now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the other object, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to viewport display, and I'm going to put in front. So now it's always going to show up in front of the other object, so it's going to make it a little easier to view what's going on here. So here is the hollow sections within the model, and you can see that it runs through, it starts from kind of the hip area, goes down through the legs, but not all the way, because we still want a little bit of weight at the bottom of the legs. If I wanted this to be even more balanced, I could leave the legs completely solid. I didn't do that because I wanted to save on materials. And you can see that the tail is almost completely solid, but it becomes less solid as it gets towards the middle. And there's sections here that are completely solid above the hips, and that is intentional. We do that specifically to focus the weight towards the middle and create a center of gravity for the object. And that's really nice and easy to do for dinosaurs, because a lot of them have this kind of pelvic area here. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of just where their reproductive organs are, pretty much. And it's good for that because not only is this a low part of the model, but it's near the center, and it is free hanging from the rest of the model. So we're creating kind of not really a pendulum, but kind of a counterweight type object that's keeping it solid and in place. And it kind of weights down this middle area and focuses all the pressure of that gravitational pull down onto these standing points. What I could do is I could just make the legs like 3 times bigger or splay the toes a little bit more, and it wouldn't matter where I distribute the weight. It would probably stand up perfectly with that because the feet are so large. Because there's no real way for it to tip over if you have an object with a large base like that. Same rules kind of apply for those sandbag things that you might have punched, or kind of with non-permanent installations of stop signs. You might see they have a concrete base with a stop sign reaching out from it. That kind of applies here. So we're just creating a center of gravity that's pulling down towards the middle, where the only area where it's supporting the weight. So while it may seem that the object should be front heavy, most of this is hollow and it's not contributing to the weight. This is almost completely hollow, but we have kind of this weighted area here in the calves and this extremely weighted area here in the pelvic region and above the center of gravity. So with all those things put together, the character, or the dinosaur in this instance, stands perfectly. And I just thought that was interesting, and I just thought that people might want to see that and know how that happens. And if you like the video, please like the video, favorite it, or share it around, and most importantly, follow this channel. I'll have my Twitter handle somewhere in the corner of the video for you to follow. Following on there helps a lot too. Trying to kind of build a little bit of an online following as I develop my games and such. So if you like the video, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.